You guys have talked about having a complete game. Was today that complete game, do you think?
Kind of. And up to, I don't know, I was pretty mad at that last red zone series for the ones when we didn't get in the end zone. But I think for the amount of points we scored in that first half and coming out in the third quarter, that was, as a team from offense to defense, I think we played our most complete game yet. And it was really good to see everyone in each phase of the game on point, and that's what we needed, I think, in this week, and glad we got it.
Jarrell, how long did it take you to realize that your defensive front had such an advantage over their offensive line, and was it something you could tell even, looking at the tape?
Yeah, once we watched film, we could kind of tell that it was going to be a good game for the up front. Then when we got our first series in the game, we knew we had them under control the whole game, and we knew our defense was going to play excellent this week.
Drew, how frustrating has it been these last 2 weeks defensively? I know that you guys have been criticized and analyzed, but you put it together today.
It's real frustrating, just to get talked down on it as one of the worst defenses that SCA have had. So we just go every week trying to just brush it off and come out and keep playing the game that we know we can play. And today, I think we played that game.
It seems like you guys had a fed-up attitude that you took into this game almost, where you guys are flying around, making tackles, short tackles, not losing containment.
Yeah, that was one of our key things this week, is make sure we wrap up and tackle. Every week is one of those key things, but today we just see everybody on the same page. Everybody was hyped, everybody was ready to play. But just know we got to come out and just perform every week.
Jarrell, you've talked about the run defense being what you thought was the strength of the defense. Was the focus today to stop the Cal run and just let Riley try and beat you guys?
Yeah, we know they have a great back, running back they had, so we have to make sure we keep him contained and make sure he didn't get out and run all over it. And by us filling our gaps up front and the linebackers filling their holes, we made sure that thing was done today.
Was today the way that you all defensively feel like you guys could have been playing the entire year?
Yeah, just to see corners out there coming up, making plays, linebackers shooting through the holes, everybody just playing on the same page, just an excellent feeling. Today was a good feeling.
Chris, what was the difference today? Was it just more maybe having a chip on your shoulder, or what?
No, I think what Jarrell said. We came back Sunday in our film session, and the one thing Coach Monty was really pressing on us was to just worry about ourselves individually. I think a lot of times coaches are going to emphasize it's about the team and stuff, but for us I think it was more of individuals taking care of your personal techniques and really working on your footwork and wrapping up on tackles and your zone drops and little things like that. And as people execute their jobs individually, you kind of come together as a team and play really well. And I think that's what happened.
Matt, can you talk about Woods and his progress and your relationship you have with him?
Yeah, and he continues to work hard, and he's not satisfied, which is good, and he's always searching to try to find something in his game that needs work on, and he's always trying to get better, which is what you like to see in a young guy. And he played great today and made a lot of clutch catches, and just always seems to find the open window. And so obviously he's got a lot to do. I still have a lot of work to do, but for where he is and how he continues to keep getting better, you'd like to see that out of a receiver like that.
With your receivers, they just seem to be getting open. The routes they're running just seems to be incredible, but also your timing with them seems to be pretty impressive.
Yeah, and that's what I like, that how we've progressed each week, and the timing, it's getting better and better and better. And even the time I have to pass with the line, I think is great. It'll break down occasionally, but for the amount of time I have to pass, it's letting them get open. It's letting them make moves. And I think all the work that we put in the offseason too has caught up now, and we're feeling that all that work pay off in the routes and the balls that we're catching.
Chris, was there a point early in the game where you sensed that they knew that your defense was just going to be too much physically, and what's that feeling like for a defense when it's kind of clear who's got the edge?
Yeah, I think the first 3 series where we went 3 and out, and it wasn't only going 3 and out, but the fact that Coach Monty came out and we were blitzing them on first down, second down, and getting them in situations where it was 3rd 14, 3rd 16, and not to mention the field position that our kickoff team gave us. All game, they're backed up on their own 18 or something like that. It just helps, and then all of a sudden the score gets up. It's 28-0. They got to start throwing. Just opens up a lot of opportunities. They can't really be themselves, which was their run game. They had an awesome run game, and we knew that if we could make them one-dimensional and get them in situations like that, you know, we got the guys that capitalize on that. So.
Were you guys blitzing a little bit more today than normal?
I think so. You know, I mean, for the times I was out there, we called a good amount of blitzes. You know, I think just the pressure that we got up front with our D-line. I know, you know, Shane had one big sack on the blitz, but besides that, you know, our D-line was extremely active all day.
Looked like you and Kennard feel pretty comfortable out there lined up next to each other. Tell us about that.
It's good. You know, I mean, for me, this is the first time I played with a linebacker this week, and you know, really, I'd taken reps in camp, but it was the first time that I really, you know, took legitimate reps and was running with the first team all week. And you know, it's a little different playing out there in space and stuff, but you know, I think not just me and Devon, but I think our defense as a whole, I think everyone's really gelling and you know, learning to play off of each other's emotions and to kind of plug into each other when we get in tough situations. You know, that's one more step of maturity that, you know, I think we're taking.
Jarrell and Matt, where do you think the defense is, or where do you think the offense is with Oregon coming up next?
Well, I'm glad we had 2 weeks to get ready for that, and you know, haven't really looked into them at all. So they are a very good team, and it'll be pretty neat if they come in here as the top-rated team in the nation. I know we'll be fired up for that, and still have to look into that. We'll come back, watch this tape, learn from this tape, get better, and then get into our game plan for Oregon. But not really, don't have too much to say about them right now.
How about you, Jarrell, based on what happened last year?
One of our key things is going to be for Oregon is to make sure everybody's doing their job and not trying to make up things. Everybody execute, just hit their gaps, and don't worry about the next person. As long as we do that, we can keep them contained.
People might say that your defense is maybe better designed for a pro-style offense like you did today. What do you think about that versus their spread?
I don't know.
I think it's important to realize on both the offense and defense that when like Jarrell said, and Chris kind of mentions this, but when we focus on doing what we're supposed to be doing and doing our specific job, and yes, it's a team effort, and we talk about the team, but it's not a team unless every single guy does what they're supposed to do. And I think the last 2 weeks, that's what the offense has been doing. We're worrying about what you're supposed to be doing, where you're supposed to be, and then that turns into 11 guys doing the same thing, and that's how we've had success. And I think, you know, the defense did that today, and that's what's going to be important in 2 weeks is we worry about ourselves, worry about what we're supposed to be doing, where we're supposed to be, and if 11 guys are doing what we're supposed to be doing, then we should be good.
Matt, I know every
Last question. Is it hard not to think about how much bigger that game in 2 weeks might have been if things had gone differently the last couple of weeks?
Doesn't matter at all, because I mean, I don't like to think about that. I don't really care what would have happened. I don't see the point in thinking about that, because this is where we are now and that's what we got to deal with, and it's a challenge, and we'll take it head on.
Thanks, guys.